Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Great Ship. And boy, do we have an episode for you guys today. If this is your first time, because every episode is somebody's first time, I'm your host, Lieutenant Rebecca Frost, and I'm joined with noted space show fan Carrie Jackson, and we are talking about Star Trek, the original series.
Very excited about this.
But today, before we even get to talk about these episodes that we're going to talk about this week, first of all, I want to give a big thank you to everybody who came out to Broovies to watch Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan with us.
Yes, in conjunction with show matinee, and we're very happy that all of y'all showed up to see it.
We have, it's just a special sneak peek, but here was some of the merch that we had.
Oh, yes.
Fun new topical pink shirt.
And the Geekshow store will be open soon, in a week or two, and you'll be able to buy that shirt on our site when it comes.
And you can say hi Barbie to everyone you know, and everyone will reply hi Barbie.
I was so happy that so many people bought those shirts. I just thought it was great.
And put them on immediately. It brought me so much joy. So
is that where you want to start, or do you want to end? It's up to you.
Let's just talk about Wrath of Khan like super fast. Because of the nature of Broovies screenings, I didn't get to watch it with everybody.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I watched it the other day. Did not know Kirstie Alley was in it.
Oh, really? Okay. Nice
no,
surprise.
I had no idea. Which I'm named after her character in Cheers. So I was like, oh, what a pleasant surprise that Kirstie Alley is here. And I was so scared at first that she was killing all of my friends because I was not aware this was the Kobayashi Maru training program.
Oh.
Was not aware of it.
The no-win scenario.
Yeah, but
that's kind of the big theme of the whole movie. It's very important to us Trek nerds, the Kobayashi Maru.
And I did not know, because in the J.J. Abrams movies, Chris Pine has reprogrammed it, right? So that he turns it into a win-win, or he turns it into a win scenario at least. And I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder how they tackle that like in the actual movie itself. And I was pleasantly surprised to see it's the same, that Kirk just reprograms it.
He cheated. He cheated.
And is it cheating?
Well, that's what I love, the discussion between Kirk and Spock, because I just think you're mad I outsmarted your test.
But then later on, Spock has this great line of like, hey, I found a way out of the no-win scenario, buddy.
Yeah.
But in the saddest way possible. I like that. I don't know why I've never really pointed it out before, but it's extremely prominent in Wrath of Khan that DeForest Kelley walks chin and belly first.
Yes.
And we get to meet Carol and David, David Kirk's son. Are we supposed to like him? Because I do not like him. I found every instance he was on screen to be extremely irritating.
He's one of those characters that, we were supposed to like him, but for some reason nobody likes him. What am I saying for some reason? It's obvious why people don't like him. He's kind of an irritant.
The man, like that, it's like, oh no.
Oh no, you're fine.
But yeah, just like an immediate hatred. And I was so scared they were going to kill Chekhov. I'm glad they didn't.
They put creatures in our bodies. Don't worry about David. We'll talk about him in Search for Spock.
Oh no, really?
He comes back. He comes back.
God. I was hoping to never have to see him again. Also, Kirk's got to have more kids out there, right?
Oh, of course he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Banging his way across the galaxy.
Some of them, partially green-skinned, they're bound to be. Bound to be. I mean, think about all of the space nookie he got throughout the years. Got to be another kid out there.
Got to be spreading his space seed. You know what I mean? And then the big thing about this movie is, Spock sacrificing himself to save everybody, and just extremely sad. Extremely sad.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
I was kind of expecting Kirk's reaction to be a lot bigger, but I feel like maybe because Spock has had so many close calls in the original series, like a couple of the episodes we'll talk about today, I thought Spock was a goner.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, because Kirk has had so many close calls with Spock before, he was just like, "Oh, maybe I've
Well,
got all my excitement out previously."
now, did you watch that Center Seat docuseries? It's on Amazon.
I have not.
One of the things the director said, I think is Harv Bennett, the director for this movie, said, "Here's what I learned about working with William Shatner. Do many, many, many takes. Because if you just go with 5, he's going to give you the most Shatnerific performance ever. I don't want that. I want it to be toned down a little bit. So I do take after take till he is tired."
Oh no.
And that's the takes you get. Like the part where he says, "I'm sending the information over now, Con." Um, there was the line where it says, "Here it comes," and Shatner was just doing it. "Here it comes," And he's like, and Harv's like, "Could you bring it to?" And Shatner would just go, and so he just kept doing it over and over. So the last take was Shatner exhausted, going, "Here it comes." And that's the one they use because you don't want to tip Khan off. You just want him to, reel
Yeah.
him in, reel him in, reel him in. So,
How interesting. Wow, that's some real Stanley Kubrick shit, honestly.
mhm. It is. It is.
And David Fincher too.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, and exhausting for everybody else involved.
Yes, because you have to be on the set all day.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you watching on YouTube, I have here,
In
you
the
can
box, The
this is
Wrath
the
of Khan Enterprise.
25th anniversary. So the movie was released in 82. I'll let you do the math on this.
Oh, not me.
But I'm gonna open it, or maybe I'll just sell it. I've been selling a lot of my toys. I'll be honest with you. But listen, this is what it does. Did you hear him
Huh.
shouting "Con"?
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Anyway, all right.
That's so funny. I can't believe you have a toy for literally everything.
I'm ready for our episodes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's
All right.
okay. Well, my final thoughts regarding Wrath of Khan. I just want to say I'm not sure this is the only Star Trek movie I've seen besides like the J.J. Abrams movies. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about movie Trek versus TV Trek because I really, really, really like TV Trek, and movie Trek just felt so commercialized, I think.
Well, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from because, me, I was raised on all of these bad special effects from the original
Mm-hmm.
Trek and the cheap looking sets and the cardboard boulders and all of that stuff. And so when I got the motion picture, which you passed on,
Yeah.
good. When I got the motion picture and I got that, I know Lee makes fun of me all the time, that 6 minute floating around the ship shot, introducing us to this new refit Enterprise. I mean, as I kept telling everybody, "Oh, that was boring," and I said, "That movie wasn't for you. It was for people like me who put up with all those bad special effects and still loved it. This was our payoff." And so the movie Treks with all of these new special effects and great looking ship and uniforms and sets, it was like, here's a thank you for paying attention and putting up with all that bad, cheap stuff that we did for 3 years. Thank you.
How funny. I'm just so the opposite. I'm sure, it's a access and generational thing, I'm sure, but I'm like, I want to see the old graphics. I like the campiness of it. Please give me the campiness because I have been so spoiled in
Mm-hmm.
my lifetime with great effects and just movies upon movies.
Like I said, as soon as you get a DVD player, rent one or something. I've got them on DVD, the original series with the original effects, and you're going to watch them and go, "Oh, Carrie was right. This is terrible."
I don't know. There's an episode we're going to talk about too where I'm like, boy, I wish I had the old effects on this one. But also one more thing about Wrath of Khan. Spock literally dying. his best friend in the whole wide world, Kirk, comes up to him, and he still takes the time to stand up and straighten his uniform and then go
Mm-hmm.
see his friend.
Wasn't that a great choice for an actor?
God, I
Mhm.
literally was like, holy Toledo, what a choice. Just so good. And I'm telling you, if I was a 60s housewife, I would be going absolutely nutso for this show and shipping Kirk and Spock. Like,
Maybe
I'm so firmly on Team Kirk Spock. I don't know exactly when it happened.
it when the show was in reruns. That's when the shipping started. The original, and I'm trying to remember what the original term for it. It wasn't shipping. We had our own term for it. Slash
Mm.
fiction, I want to
Oh,
say.
slash fiction,
And
yeah.
there was even a term before slash fiction
How
that I'm trying
interesting.
to remember. But it was Kirk and Spock homoerotic stories were everywhere. Passed around at fan
Hmm.
conventions. Guys would write scripts.
Me and my other 60s housewife friends, I'm sure we would just get together and talk about how much we love them. But today we are going to be talking about these episodes: The Gamesters of Triskelion, A Piece of the Action, The Immunity Syndrome, A Private Little War, and Return to Tomorrow.
Hmm.
So, starting with the Gamesters of Triskelion, Kirk, Uhura, and Chekhov are trapped on a planet where abducted aliens are enslaved and trained to perform as gladiators for the amusement of bored, faceless aliens. The Lady Gaga episode, as I have dubbed it,
Perfect title. Perfect.
because this was the best one to grab screenshots of, to be like, what do you mean there's no homosexuality in Star Trek? This episode is just a perfect example.
It's totally gay.
These guys are wearing harnesses. These girls are wearing silver and their hair's up to here. Um, I just another one of those episodes where the people are abducted from the ship and expected to fight for the entertainment of some faceless villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked this one. Not a whole lot to say about it, in my opinion.
No. I mean, you got some kind of bondage vibes coming
Yeah. Oh yeah.
from the whole episode. Certainly from Angelique Pettyjohn, who played
Yeah.
the Lady Gaga part.
Yeah. The piece of trivia I have regarding her, during an interview, she said that when she first auditioned for the role of Shauna, she admitted to the producers she didn't think she fit the character. When they asked why, she said the script describes her as an Amazon, but she was only 5'6", and she's like, at 5'6", I'm hardly an Amazon. But the producers all laughed and said, "Look, honey, next to Shatner, you'll look like an Amazon."
I was gonna say, yeah.
Which is interesting because I paid attention and they still framed it in such a way that Kirk is still taller than she is.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're both so little, how crazy.
I think Shatner's like 5'8", I want to say.
Hmm.
I could be wrong. I mean, I've met him a couple of times. You think I'd remember, but
Yeah, your good friend William Shatner.
he's not my
Um,
good friend, no. He's a joke. Koik is a joke. Yeah.
which sucks because I really like him on this show in particular.
Yeah.
But the producers also interrupted filming of this episode to tell the cast and crew that the show had been canceled. So everyone was depressed throughout the rest of production, but then the fans started protesting and writing letters until NBC decided to keep it on for another season, which thank God.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you could thank B.J.O. Trumbull, who was a writer on the show and also Star Trek's biggest fan. She head up the letter writing campaign,
Hmm.
and it was her 90th birthday just recently. I want to say.
Yes, and you can still send her birthday cards. I wish there was somewhere on Twitter I saw send
Yeah.
birthday cards to her, because we wouldn't have this without her.
Yeah. Just go to Star Trek Twitter. It's all there.
It's all that I'm really sad Twitter's dying because I have just curated it now so that I'm getting a lot more Star Trek fan
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just disappointing that the site is so terrible.
Yeah.
Um, I like I started watching this after watching Wrath of Khan, and it was kind of interesting to see Chekhov in the future versus how he is now, because he's part of the landing party and they are transported not by the usual means. They suddenly just disappear. And And I like that the reaction is they just vanished. And I think it's Spock is like, yeah, that's how the transporter works. And
Yeah.
Scotty has to be like, oh, no, 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 not in like the regular way, kind of in like a weird way. And McCoy is like, so their atoms are just floating around out there, again, verbalizing his greatest fear in the
His
whole
greatest
wide
fear.
world.
He hates the transporter.
And then Chekhov, with the landing party is like, is the Enterprise looking for us? Do you think the Enterprise is looking for it? Yes, of course the Enterprise is looking for you, my sweet dear baby. That's all they ever
Yes.
gonna do. They're always going to be looking for you.
Always.
He gets set up with one of the alien women, and she's like, "I like your name, Chekhov," and I could
Cheekoof.
see the thought process in his mind of like, well, I am horny all the time. Because he's just a horny little boy.
He always was, wasn't he, on this series?
He always was. And then an unfortunate instance in this episode where they definitely have an attempted assault on Uhura. And
yeah.
It's unclear whether anything happens or not, but like definitely like there's an assault and nobody can stop it.
I got the feeling that she took care of it. I got the feeling that she.
I think that was kind of the end vibe I got, was like, she's okay, but like, boy, sure hate that.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah. There's a few things in this episode that I recall, and maybe this is me just making shit up, but when we finally meet the providers,
brains in jars,
their brains in these bowls, these dishes, I think that's where Mystery Science Theater, when they went to the Sci-Fi Channel, they had a character called Brain Guy, and and he was just one of the guys on the show, and they put him in a purple robe and they painted his face white and gave him dark circles around his eyes, and he carried his brain in very much a bowl that looks like these bowls. And I think that's where they got the idea for Brain Guy, was from this episode of Star Trek.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think it could be. So there's that. And what else was I going to tell you about this episode? Oh, Quatloos. I just love 400 Quatloos on the Newcomer. Because if you watch one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons, Deep Space Homer is what it's called. And that's where Homer tries to join the space program to go to space. And he's training. Him and Barney are training. And so they're at NASA. And there's a part where Barney and he are squaring off with the blades from the Amok Time. The Vulcan weapons from Amok Time with the blades and everything. They're facing off in this room, in this circled room. And one of the NASA scientists yells, 400 Quatloos on the Newcomer. Star Trek nerds wrote that episode because they also had the fight music.
Just definitely reusing that music for everything.
Just my favorite episode of Simpsons, one of them anyway.
Because Homer goes to space.
He does. He gets in the space program. Well, they give it to Barney, and Barney celebrates by having a drink. Which he hadn't been drinking during the whole training, and so he was besting Homer left and right in the training. But then when he gets the job, he celebrates with a drink. And
boy, that's sad, because Barney Simpson sidebar, so sad, because Barney really is like so capable and intelligent, but it's just the alcoholism that ruins everything.
They cleaned him up, and he wasn't funny anymore. And
yeah,
and so then they started writing him as a drunk again. So.
Oh, that is sad. Anyway, that's the Gamesters of Triskelion. Whatever. I did like at the end, because Kirk is telling Shauna, like, I'm from out there. I'm one of these tiny lights. And she's like, that's crazy. And he's like, well, from my planet, you look like a tiny light. And she says, thank you, Captain. Like, thank you, Kirk. I will watch the stars and blah, blah, blah. She has a nice little ending there.
And that's where Kirk says the immortal.
That's what we call love.
Yeah.
God. It was another instance.
Shauna, yeah.
It was another instance of me being so mad at humans for me.
Like, but he had to seduce her so that they could escape. Yeah.
Yeah, God, so stupid. The next episode, a piece of the action, 1920s star, 1920s star. Not even. They don't travel back in time. This isn't even a time travel episode. They are traveling to a planet that has been contaminated, and the contamination is a book called Mobsters of the 1920s, and this culture has built an entire society around it.
Well, that sounds familiar to a church I know.
Oh, whoa.
And I'm going to let you down on the toy angle of this. I used to have, you remember those 9-inch Star Trek figures that I had? I had Kirk and Spock in their gangster outfits. And I sold them. I'm sorry. I sold
That's
them.
okay. You know what? That's okay. We can't keep them all.
But
this what I think my most favorite bit about this episode. Actually, let me read the description of it first before I get any too further. Well, I mean, I've done it already. The crew of the Enterprise struggles to cope with a planet of imitative people who have modeled their society on 1920s gangsters, and that's it. But my most favorite thing about this one is there's so much like jargon and analogy, like use of analogy and metaphor, and Kirk is over it. It's so exasperated by it because it's all these people, they only communicate in like analogies and metaphors. And so there's a moment where they're taking Kirk out to a car and he's like, it can either be a taxi or a hearse, you know what I mean? And Kirk is like, yeah, getting the idea. And
I need some more of those fancy heaters, Kirk.
God, it's so like, I was just like Kirk. I was like, man, I am also done with this place. How irritating. One guy even says to Dr. McCoy, like, don't give me those baby blues. And McCoy is like, what? What are you saying? Because it's all just this ancient to them language that they're like, and what is it? Somebody says you'll be wearing cement galoshes, and Scotty is like, what?
I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, it's one of the funny episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah, because as exasperated as Kirk is in the beginning, once he puts the suit on, he gets in character and just immediately starts talking like this with everything he says. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he's like
taking a whole planet over.
Language.
And he gives Spock a mafia nickname, Spocko.
Because that's all you have to do. Because one of the other gang leaders, Jojo Kracko. But then you got the other guy. How do you say his name? Oxmix. I do love 1920s, but give everyone weird space names. That's kind of a fun twist on it.
And that's I think, is it Vic Tayback is that actor's name? And he plays Mel on the Alice TV series from the 70s. Yeah, it's Vic Tayback.
I couldn't tell you. I'm too young.
Yeah. It's a reasonably entertaining episode. It's clear it was, budgetary, Paramount's got the back lot and all these costumes and everything. This won't cost us a dime, we'll be able to do it. And they assigned the writers, they said, look, when you can use these things, they're free to us and we don't have to build them,
Not one woman spoke while they were on this planet.
You're right.
Yep, they were only there.
There are women everywhere.
There are women everywhere, but not one of them spoke.
Yeah, they're arm candy, you see.
God, and I talk about that in a later episode, but just kind of crazy about how the idea of a patriarchal society is just in every planet. Mm-hmm. And
well, I mean, if they're taking it from the book, it was certainly a patriarchal society in the 20s. So,
That is true. And then even as they're leaving, I believe one of their phasers gets left. Is it one of their phasers that gets left?
It's McCoy. McCoy left his communicator.
Damn it, McCoy. Yeah, his communicator. And I was like, stop leaving stuff on this planet. They've had enough.
I mean, first of all, look at the size of these things. How do you forget and leave them because
Listen,
it's
I
not
leave
like the
my
next
phone
generation.
places.
Yeah, but it's not like the next generation that are just right there, on their chest. So, and and this isn't McCoy's first rodeo. You'd think he'd
No.
remember these things, but because these, what is it, the Melkotians or whatever their names are,
Yeah,
because
whatever.
they're so imitative, they're convinced that with this technology they'd be able to advance faster and
But so this episode does have two of my favorite pieces of trivia. After filming Wrapped, the studio received a letter from Anthony Caruso, who played Bella Oxmix. The letter was from Oxmix, thanking the crew of the Enterprise for creating the Syndicate, and things were proceeding nicely on Sigma. Whatever that planet's called. As he goes on in the letter, it is now the 1950s and he is sporting a crew cut. He also mentioned wanting to visit Las Vegas, remarking, "It seems like my kind of town."
ah, that's funny.
And I love it. I love it when they have the guest stars who are into it, right? It just makes it a lot better, and they're not just like, oh, this is a silly space show where
Well,
everyone
I'm
overacts.
sure they went to both those actors that says you get to play gangsters, and they went, great, I love it, let's do it.
Great. And then Marvel Comics published a sequel story to this as part of their Star Trek Unlimited series.
I did not know that.
Well, okay, the story, A Piece of the Reaction, featured the crew of the USS Enterprise E from Star Trek First Contact, returning to
Oh.
the planet to discover that its society had gone on to model itself after 23rd century Starfleet thanks to the communicator that McCoy left behind. The planet is now led by the tough kid Kirk and Spock met in the street, who wishes to hijack the Enterprise E and finally gain command of a starship just like his idol, James T. Kirk. We're going to have to
Oh.
track this down.
Yeah, I got to find that and read it. And another reason I want to find and read that is because I don't know if Quentin Tarantino knows about that, because he wrote the Star Trek sequel that he wanted to do was going to be a sequel to this episode.
This is insane to me. There are so many other episodes. Why this one?
He just loved that episode, and he said, I think I can do something with that.
That's crazy to me.
So I was hoping, I was looking forward to it. And it was going to be a Chris Pine, JJ universe script. So I'm wondering if it's going to be, this is the first time that Kirk goes down, or somebody's already been and did this, because it's the JJ universe. We can do what we want. And so we're going, 10 years later to get this communicator or whatever it is, but he wrote the treatment on for a script for it, and who knows where that's floating around somewhere on the Paramount lot. I'd love to.
Maybe that's his 10th movie. Maybe that's the 10th movie he's doing.
No, he's doing one called The Film Critic, but he very close. It came very close to them doing this movie.
Can you? I don't know that I want a Tarantino Star Trek.
Show me what you got.
I don't. It's the same reason because after I watched Wrath of Khan, I watched Into Darkness, which I hadn't seen in a really long time.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking with my husband about it, and I'm like, man, I don't like these J.J. Abrams movies. They're just not very Starfleet, because the whole villain of Into Darkness, right, is a Starfleet admiral. And I'm just like, that wouldn't happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. And that's the problem that a lot of hardcore trekkers have with the JJ movies. Me, I love the JJ movies. And I saw this Into Darkness not as Wrath of Khan, but Space Seed. Yeah, we did get the Wrath of Khan elements at the end, but really it's Space Seed because, and it's my whole thought of it is in Space Seed originally, Captain Kirk finds Khan. But in the JJ universe, I thought to myself, what if the Republican Party found Khan?
Oh.
That's how I saw it as. What if Dick Cheney found Khan? Because that's, Cheney was vice president at the time that movie came out. And I remember seeing it at the premiere thinking, I see what he's doing here is, what if Dick Cheney found Khan and not Kirk? That's what they would do with it. They would, if the Dick Cheney of Starfleet found it, he would weaponize the hell out of it. So that's why I was able to accept it in my mind as, this is a different thing. I'm not going to compare the two until the end with the Khan. And then I wish he wouldn't have shouted Khan. That's the only, honestly, that's the only complaint I have about that movie. I didn't mind Kirk dying the same way Spock did. It was the Khan. I thought you didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you know,
Interesting. Food for thought. Okay.
yes.
I'll have to re-examine it. But moving on, we're going to talk about the immunity syndrome. The Enterprise encounters a gigantic energy draining space organism that threatens the galaxy. I quite liked this episode. It's extremely simple. They are on the ship the whole time. It's one of those episodes where it's a group problem solve, and
Yes.
I don't feel like we get to see that a whole lot. This is the episode where I was like, if I was a 60s housewife, I would be going absolutely insane, because Spock gets injured immediately and Kirk is immediately concerned, and I was like, yes, he loves him, go check on your boy. And I had the thought, do you I gotta admit, I was high when I was watching these, but do you ever think Kirk gets sad that Spock is so serious all the time? Because Kirk tries to have like lighthearted conversation or jokes with him, but Spock is just always serious and always problem solving. And do you think that makes him sad?
I don't know if it makes him sad. I think he just accepts that that's his friend and just goes,
Yeah.
oh, whatever.
And that's the
Maybe he
same
does.
question
Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I don't know.
it's the same question I have for any woman who wants to date Spock. Like, why? Why? If you're into that, I guess I can't
I mean,
like yuck anybody's yum. But
I mean, Strange New Worlds Chapel, or well, really original series Chapel.
yeah, like
because original
why?
series Spock is much more cold than Strange New World Spock.
Mhm. Yeah, which is, we'll talk about it in an upcoming
All right.
episode.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry.
But no, it's okay. It's all right. But yeah, it's just a basic group think episode, and then Spock goes on to go solve the problem because it's an amoeba. They get sucked into this like void that's just like an amoeba, and he has to slowly penetrate the amoeba.
Well, and I was going to say that's one of the dirtiest lines in Star Trek is this one.
Brace yourselves. The area of penetration will no doubt be sensitive.
There you go. One of the dirtiest lines in Star Trek for you. Now, what I liked about this one, I've never expressed this to anybody but you. Are you ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready.
Remember at the beginning of the episode when Spock freaks out? It's like, oh, thousands of Vulcans are all dead at once. Hey, does that sound familiar? Obi-Wan Kenobi, Star Wars.
I had that same thought.
I always felt that George Lucas took that and ripped it off.
Oh, interesting. I wouldn't put it past him, honestly.
I mean, it was just a thought, but yeah, because that was the thing, is that he was able to, because Vulcans are, sensitive,
Force
mentally and all
sensitive,
that.
yeah.
And he would hear, 1,000 Vulcans dying at the same time and screaming in terror. Well, if Vulcans are capable of terror, but so he would sense that, and I love the idea of a ship that is just Vulcans. I just thought that was a great idea, and I wanted more of that.
Kirk, I think it's Kirk asks Spock a really interesting question about like, what did they feel when this happened, and Spock replies with astonishment, and I thought that was such a great word choice, because they're not going to feel fear, they're not going to be sad, but the choice of the word astonishment was just some chef's kiss writing, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is one where I wanted to see the original effects, because the the remastered effects show up and I'm like, am I watching a meme? Did somebody put this image on here? Because it looked so out of place, because it was so bright and vibrant and like modern looking. It just looked so out of place to me.
The original amoeba looked like one of those. I mean, your dad's a musician and old, so he would. You've probably seen what I'm about to describe. When you see footage of old, like Pink Floyd footage or something like that, they had a background behind the band, and it was it was water. It was essentially water between two sheets of plastic, colored water, and they'd shine lights through it, and it would make these different shapes because of the water, kind of like Rorschach's mask.
That's
And
so interesting. That's the trivia I have for this episode. The Space Amoeba optical effects was created by Frank Vanderveer of Vanderveer Photo Effects. The amoeba itself was a mixture of liquids pressed between two thin sheets of glass, and as the sheets were moved, the liquid would flow as if the amoeba was pulsating.
exactly, that's the backgrounds that a lot of those psychedelic bands in the 60s and 70s would use, and you'd see it on TV and all of that. And so that's what it looked like. That's what the amoeba looked like.
And then when they exploded it or whatever, it looked like a lava lamp.
Yeah. A lot. Yes, exactly.
This one, I don't have like a fun, what I call this episode, but I do have my overall feeling of this, which is dad and dad are fighting.
Oh yeah, because of the Spock McCoy stuff, the back and forth, which was just priceless to me.
Yeah. Then I posted this on Twitter, just kind of because Spock goes on the shuttle, and as he leaves, McCoy shuts the door and he's like, "Good luck, Spock," to himself. And then later, when Spock is calling back to the ship, he's like, "Tell Dr. McCoy he should have wished me luck." And I'm like, but he did.
And I always kind of hoped that McCoy would go, "Good luck, you asshole," or something like that.
This episode also, it actually, compared to some of the previous episodes, actually felt really dangerous. Like I had a sincere concern that our friend wasn't going to make it back. And I mean, I know that he did, but it was, if I was watching this in real time, in the 60s, I'd be like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? Like, this is so dangerous. And I liked that I'm still able to feel that kind of thrill with these episodes, even though I know they survive forever and ever.
That makes me very happy for you. I
Oh.
just think that's great, because I'm just like, it's 9-year-old Carrie there. There he is.
Well, let's move on to this next episode that we just have to
So we
talk
liked
about
Immunity
so fast.
Syndrome. We like that
Oh,
one. Okay.
yeah, I quite liked Immunity Syndrome. I like it when there's a
Okay.
group think episode that's like all just on the ship.
Mhm.
But a private little war, peaceful, primitive peoples get caught up in the struggle between superpowers, with Kirk unhappily trying to restore the balance of power disrupted by the Klingons. This episode sucked ass.
It's not a good episode, but it features my favorite and ridiculous alien on Star Trek.
Oh, the Mugato?
The
Or the
Mugatu
peoples?
is my favorite ridiculous Star Trek creature.
Look at that
Because-
action figure.
Now, I didn't bring down the Mego one because he's wearing clothing, which, always pissed me off when I was a kid, because they gave me the Mugatu figure, but he's standing upright and wearing clothing. It wasn't until I got this action figure that they got the Mugatu right. And what I love is it's just a gorilla costume with a horn.
Just a monkey suit. It's designed by the same guy who designed the Horta in whichever whatever
Devil in
that
the
one is.
Dark.
Devil in the Dark, the evil carpet. Because he just had this monkey suit laying around. And he's like, I
Yeah.
guess. And Mugatu is not even what it's really called, because DeForest Kelley kept mispronouncing the name. So they changed it. It was a Gumato, but he kept calling it a Mugatu. And even if you watch the credits, it's still listed as Gumato.
I just love that they were able to, on the fly, change the name of it. Just go with it. We're not going to do another retake because DeForest Kelley's drunk somewhere. Or he's off with his, doing something else.
Whatever
we don't
he
have time for a
does.
retake. We're just going to go with it. Instead of bringing in and doing voice later, it's just, we'll go with it. We'll change it.
Yeah, just whatever. But this one, it felt a lot like a romance novel to me. I don't know why. Just like
Really?
the presence of the woman and like the way she interacts with it's so horny. This episode was another very horny episode, and I didn't like it. I didn't care for it one bit.
The episode's supposed to be again, because the Vietnam War was happening at the time. It was so it's the analogy for the Vietnam War, right down to the enemy people. You got the people that Kirk knew, Tyree and his tribe, and
The blondes, yeah.
they're all blonde and white, and the bad guys are all something else. And so
brunette, they're all brunette, and they're
They're all
working with the
brunette.
Klingons, and the Klingons are giving them guns.
Yes, Klingons are giving them guns, and I was unsatisfied with this episode for a lot of reasons. Of course, all I have to do is think about the Mugatu, and I smile. But it's pretty sexist the way they treat Tyree's woman. Here, I'm to blame. I can't even remember her name. She has a name. She's a person.
Nona.
Nona? Okay.
I think.
But they kept referring to her as Tyree's woman throughout the episode. And now, granted, she's not a nice person.
No.
but
it also, not only did it feel extremely sexist, it felt extremely culturally insensitive.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they were appropriating some what felt like African healing techniques.
Oh yeah, it was because she takes the whatever root it is, it looks like it's alive.
It moves, jelly.
Yeah. And she places it on Kirk's Mugatu bite to pull the Mugatu poison out.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they're somehow linked, and she can control him, and I mean, let's be honest. She didn't need that link to control Kirk. All you have to do is just a little cleavage.
No,
and
she had boobs.
Kirk is there.
Yeah.
Even though
she had
she's
boobs.
brunette,
He would have gone wherever. Well, and what's so funny too, I had read, because there's a scene where she's like showering under a waterfall, and they kept that scene in there to be like, to hopefully draw attention away from the rest of the episode, so that the censors would be like, get rid of this. Everything else is fine, we think.
We're hiding our Vietnaminologies. Look at that girl over there. How about that?
Jeez Louise. And Spock gets caught in a crazy explosion at the beginning. His body does a full C formation. But then, so he's back on the ship, and Chapel's taking care of him, and Chapel goes to hold his hand. And McCoy is like, or is it M'Benga? Oh, it's M'Benga. And
because McCoy's like, down on the planet.
Yeah, because he calls it out, and she's like, it just shows my patients that I'm interested. And I'm like, Chapel, what are you doing? We've been down this road, and especially in the next, or in an upcoming episode, like, ma'am, what are you doing? And then in order for him, because he's unconscious during this time of recuperation, and in order, the final stage of it, he's like, Miss Chapel, I need you to slap me. And so she like lightly taps him, and he's like, harder. And she just starts slapping.
And she's just like, laying into him, and M'Benga comes in and is just like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, no. So M'Benga, some interesting information about why M'Benga is here in the first place. So this episode is the first of 2 appearances of Booker Bradshaw as Dr. M'Benga. He's an expert in Vulcan physiology. But previously, in the Journey to Babel, where McCoy's like, oh, I've never like really done surgery on a Vulcan before. I don't really know what I'm doing. Given McCoy's reluctance in that episode to operate on a Vulcan due to his unfamiliarity with Vulcan physiology, it is probable that in between that episode and this, he recruits Dr. M'Benga to serve on the Enterprise as a safeguard should anything happen to Spock. That's Dr. McCoy looking out for his crew.
Because he loves him.
Because he loves him. Dad and Dad are fighting.
This is it's kind of a, and I was unsatisfied with the end because I didn't really get any resolution. Because they give them guns.
They give them guns. But no, not Starfleet at all.
But no, this is my thing, is that I don't know if they did give them guns, because I mean, I know Shatner pauses and everything, but the way he says his final lines is, Scotty, we need 100 more flintlocks. He said, what? You need what now, Captain? And he said, some more, pause. Serpents, pause, for the Garden of Eden. So that's where I'm like, I wonder if Kirk realized at that second, he went, yeah, I shouldn't, no, can't do that.
Yeah, because McCoy earlier does use that actual reference of like, well, there's already a serpent in the Garden of Eden, and you want to add more. Interesting. Because
Serpent
that
in
is,
the Garden of Eden.
I was so mad at that last line. I lit my note as like, oh, we're just gonna give them guns. That's so just not Starfleet. Why are we contaminating planets with this technology? Did we not learn anything from the 1920s planet?
And so I felt the same way. But then I went back and watched it again. And I went, with his delivery, I could feasibly say that he changed his mind at the last second. And went, that's not right, because they're serpents for the Garden of Eden.
I guess. Whatever. That episode's stupid. That was a stupid episode, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to talk about Return to Tomorrow. The
Can
Enterprise.
I just do one? Can I just do one thing for you? Because
of course, absolutely.
I loved the Mugatu so much when I was a kid that I think I do a pretty good Mugatu growl.
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, look at the action figure. Don't look at me.
Yeah. It was just like a guy screaming, wasn't it?
Yeah, essentially. Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway, Return to Tomorrow. The Enterprise is guided to a distant, long-dead world where survivors of an extremely ancient race existing only as disembodied energy, desiring the bodies of Kirk, Spock, and astrobiologist Anne Mulhall so that they may live again. The appearance of Anne Mulhall. Interesting, because that's Dr. Pulsaki in The Next Generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's been on many a Star Trek. She was on an earlier episode or a later episode.
She's on a later episode. She shows up in a later episode. Is there truth? Is there in truth no beauty? Yeah.
Yeah. As a different character. But so she's done a lot of Star Trek, that actress. She's Dr. Pulaski, she's all over the place.
That's great. The thing about she drives me nuts on Next Generation, because I feel like there's something with her jaw, because she never really opens her mouth when she talks. She keeps her mouth like very tiny and very close. Like, pay attention when she speaks. Pay attention to when she speaks. Like, I feel like there's something up with her jaw, because she keeps her mouth like very tiny and very small every time she speaks. Yeah,
I gotta go and watch it again now.
Have you watched season 2 of Next Generation?
A long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Because there's an episode, because I cannot stand her. And there is an episode where she like keeps interrupting Picard, and Picard even says like, would love to get a word in if you would stop interrupting me. And I'm like, ooh, show her what's what.
Well, now she's in season 2 because the Gates
Dr.
McFadden
Crusher
was not happy with the way things were happening with Next Generation, and her character was happy with the way it was being treated, and she felt like she needed more money, and so they said, well, then you're gone. Boo. And they bring in Pulaski, who all the fans hated. I don't know of any Dr. Pulaski fans. I'm sorry. If you're a Dr. Pulaski fan, give us a note down below.
Get in the comments.
I don't think that there are many. I think it's a very small fan club, but the fans let them know, we don't like Dr. Pulaski, and I think she fell down an elevator chute and died.
Oh, darn.
But then they brought back Crusher in the 3rd season.
Yeah. Well, her appearance in this episode, she's an astrobiologist, but also lieutenant commander, and she has the distinction of being the highest ranking female Starfleet character shown in the original series. So that's neat. I did find it kind of interesting. This has nothing to do with like the plot. I do find it interesting. She's an astrobiologist, but she's wearing a red uniform and not a blue uniform.
Oh yeah, you'd think she'd be in the science division.
Yeah, what's up with that? Anyway.
Well, we all know that, canon was a strange thing to them in the original series. Canon, it probably wasn't even a thing back then. I think Star Trek may have invented canon, But
yeah, did they have like a set Bible? Did they have a show Bible that they would refer to? But again, the creatures that we're interacting with in this episode, voiceless entities. They exist in orbs, and they are
deep voices that speak.
And Sargon, voiced by James Doohan, by the way, our boy Scotty.
Yeah.
Spock describes what happens to their planet. It's actually really cool. Like their atmosphere was ripped away, which could you imagine? That would be so terrifying.
Oh, we're getting ready for it to happen here. I'm telling you.
Just strap in. But the survivors have they're deep, like hundreds. I can't remember exactly how far into like the surface of the planet they are, but they are very far down. And
way down deep. Yeah.
They're like, don't worry, we'll make it so you can beam down. We promise. And McCoy is like, again, you want me to beam where? Into rock? And I'm just supposed to trust you on this? And they're like, McCoy, please, you have to. And he's like, okay. He's not like super jazzed about it, but he does it. Yeah, and these disembodied voices want to inhabit some of the crew.
They're in these spheres, which have appeared on the show a few times,
which I have seen, in present day as lamps, and
yes.
they're just cool looking lamps.
So the spheres and there are only 3 of them that are still alive. There's Sargon, his wife, and
Talisa,
and the bad guy,
Henoch. And the minute Henoch gets in Spock's body, I was like, this guy, this MFer, I do not feeling sus, do not trust.
Of
and
course.
One of the first thing he says when he's in Spock's body is, I'm surprised the Vulcans haven't conquered the humans. This body rules.
He kept saying it throughout the whole episode. Oh, man, my body is so much more superior than yours.
This is great. And Sargon was even so complimentary to Kirk's body. He's like, wow, you've taken really great care of this body. Kudos. And I'm like, okay, don't make it weird.
Yeah, but that was Shatner saying that.
And then Scotty, extremely confused about the whole thing. I love Scotty. Scotty is definitely solidified as like a favorite character.
Oh yeah,
but
he's one of mine. Yeah.
His responses in this is just every time like, what? What?
I mean, they're saying, yeah, we're going to build these android bodies, and Scotty's like, out of what? Yeah. Which is strange because wasn't he in the I Mud episode where they made androids that looked human? And,
Yeah. Well, and even then, like these 3 beings are so far advanced and far superior that he still takes it upon himself to mansplain what to do to Talisa, who's building the androids, and he's like, well, you need a fulcrum and a pulley system, and she's like, I know.
I got, honey.
I know what I'm doing.
I got this. Yeah. That's okay, darling. Go sit down.
This is also another instance of I don't like it when Spock isn't Spock. I like when Leonard Nimoy gets to do stuff, but I don't like when Spock isn't Spock.
And he's not Spock through this whole thing.
No, he's cunning.
He's evil. Yeah.
He's cunning and.
Well, and what I love is that he's the very basic Bond villain in that early on in the episode.
Yeah.
He explains his evil plan to, Nurse Chapel, even though she's, gonna forget.
And do you know how you can tell that he's evil? Because he leans against walls. And Spock doesn't usually lean against a wall, whereas Henoch is like at almost a 45-degree angle leaning against a wall.
Now, you say you don't like Spock when he's not Spock, but you could tell Nimoy is having a great time doing this episode.
Well, that's why I always had the clarification. I like it when Leonard Nimoy gets to do different things, but I don't like it when Spock is not Spock. It just makes me feel icky.
He's having a wonderful time. You can tell when he does the evil speech to Nurse Chapel. And then I'm going to keep this body, and then I'm going to kill the others. And,
and you're going to forget.
And you're going to help me and forget. I love that.
And there's some like consciousness body swapping, whoosy whatsy happening, and Spock, in order to survive, transfers his consciousness into Nurse Chapel, which, can we talk about the implications considering their previous dating history?
Exactly. I didn't realize that until I rewatched it here a few weeks ago, getting ready for this episode. And I went, oh, I didn't even think about, young Carrie didn't even think about the history of these
They
two
have
and how,
such history.
And how that would, I've been inside your mind,
Right? Like, I'm sure in Strange New Worlds they've done it, but
I mean, I can't think of any ex-girlfriend that I would want inside my
God,
inside my
no,
mind.
absolutely not. Ugh, get out of there.
It would be bad.
And then the voiceless entities figure it out or whatever, and ask if they can borrow the bodies one last time because they're about to go be into oblivion and bodiless
Hmm.
entities. And my reaction is immediately, can we borrow your bodies to bang like real fast,
Well, but you
just one
remember
last time?
that was part of the deal, though, was that one of the sad things about them building these forever bodies is that they couldn't experience sensuality, which I had a
No.
problem with rewatching it. I didn't think about it when I was, younger watching these shows, but with the technology the way that we have now, I would think they'd be able to make that happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, Pike is also just in a wheelchair that only goes beep boop. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the future that I would hope technology figured out. But also, because they make the android and Hanok is like, okay, here's yours. And she's like, I don't want this. And he's like, oh, don't worry. It's a Ken doll now, but I am going to turn it into a Barbie. I am going to make it more woman like. And I know you want that, right? And she's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
ah.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and kind of an interesting episode, but also like meh, meh.
Mm-hmm.
No real good takeaways.
I I was concerned about the consent, uh,
Yeah.
because Kirk and her, I mean, they just kind of, I mean, they didn't even really work together. I mean, they didn't know each other that
I'm
well, right?
sure Kirk is like, yeah, whatever, go for it. And and
You
she
know,
probably had, more reservations. But if I know Kirk, he's like, yeah, whatever.
I got the
I'm down to
feeling that
clown.
she knew that that might happen.
But like
I could be wrong.
she's an astrobiologist and like pretty high up in her career. So I kind of think that she would also be like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
for the sake of knowledge, right? Because that's part of it is they're all they're always in the pursuit of knowledge. And
Yeah.
so for her, this is just another mission and to learn more about a new alien species.
Hmm.
So
But what was also interesting about this one is that the mysterious alien species, which usually we have to defeat, the humans have to defeat. The mysterious alien species decided, oh, this is getting way out of hand, and we can't do this to you humans anymore, and so I'm going to kill Henok, and subsequently, my wife and I are just going to, swirl off into the nothingness, and you know,
they're the ending of the good place, right? Like they
there
have
you
spent
go,
they've spent enough time in heaven and they're like, you know what, we're ready to go back into oblivion now.
there you
And
go.
isn't that sweet?
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's an okay episode. It's okay.
It was
I
it
don't.
was
I don't hate it.
yeah.
It's a very Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
It was fine. Meh, meh. I liked
Well.
the implication. I liked the implication of Spock being in Nurse Chapel.
Oh.
But only because we have watched Strange New Worlds, right? And they have their whole thing.
Yes. 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 So well. So this is our 5 episodes for this
This is our
episode.
for this episode, yeah. Yeah.
Now we're heading toward the end of season 2.
We're getting there. We're almost there, yeah.
We're almost there, and we're gonna get into season 3. And there are some episodes coming that I can't wait for you to poop
Oh
on.
gosh. Oh, yeah, looking at my list, we only have one. Our next episode will be the remainder of season 2. Wow. Can't believe
Hmm.
we're almost through season 2.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. There are some episodes that you're going to poop on coming up very soon.
oh no. Yeah, I hear episode 1 of season 3 is a doozy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's. I mean, it's the infamous Spock's brain
Uh-huh.
is the name of the episode, and it has been named by just about everybody the worst episode of Star Trek ever. I don't think it's that bad. I'm not defending it, but it's
Uh-huh.
not as bad as everyone says.
Oh no.
But it's bad?
Okay. Well, it's okay because we still have one more season 2
Yes.
episode, and then we'll get into terrible season 3.
Exciting.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We will see you again next week, going where no man has gone before, but a lot of people have gone before. Live long and prosper, bitches.